Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming back to another video. Today I wanted to do a little May to June, so 2 months that I've been missing in terms of showing a flip through because I've had quite a few videos in between and haven't been able to give a little update. I was tossing up whether to do a Jan to June or just do a May and June video, but I have a lot of videos planned up and I kind of have a timeline or a schedule, I guess you can say. So I opted out of the January to June video, but maybe I'm thinking maybe at the end of the year I would do an entire year of both the Jan to June. Sorry, I'm mixing up my words. Jan to June and then July to December for the whole year, but I'll be at the end. So just to bring us forward, yeah, I think this is May, yes. So yeah, I always find it a bit difficult to think about what to talk about, I guess, when I'm showing my pages, but I guess I'll just start. I really enjoyed, I think I showed this spread in my April flip through, but I really like this one because it's sort of commemorative because I hit level 100 affinity with Silas on this week, and if you haven't watched my other videos, Silas is my favorite love interest in the game Love and Deep Space. As you can see in my, yeah, sorry about this mess. I filmed another video and I thought, why not film another one while my partner's not home and I don't feel embarrassed, because I don't really like filming when my partner's home. I don't like him potentially hearing what I'm saying. But anyway, 2 videos at once. But also the light is really good, really nice because it's about to set. So there's a little golden hue. So that'll be nice. But I really like how busy this spread looks. And I think it's a good busy. I don't particularly love this hot girl summer. Oh, I got a notification. Let me just mute. Yeah. I didn't really like that I did hot girl in black and then I did summer in pink, in yellow, sorry. That was a bit odd. But otherwise, I like the overall look of it. It's busy in the sense that there's a lot of elements on the page, but I feel really good about it, which I think that's the point at the end of the day. Yes, so I've been continuing this theme of like making things bold for highlights that I want to remember. And I always do these little things such as budget, minimum spend, but then I end up blowing my budget anyway, which is a bit unfortunate. And I also really like, I've been trying to get into the habit of putting more PET tape because I have so much PET tape. I mean, I only own a few rolls, but since there's so much in a roll, what am I going to use those for? So I'm also open to suggestions. What do you guys do? What does everyone do with their PET tape? Is the T in PET tape? Is it redundant saying PET tape? I'm not sure. I actually don't know. But yes, using PET to kind of liven up the page a little, but I really only put decorations such as tape and washi at the end of the week, or even just retrospectively, even if I look through and I'm like, that could use a sticker, bam. Because in terms of my planner, I suppose I've said it many times already, but I prioritize the, you can really hear, sorry, you can always hear when someone's using the bathroom. I'm just gonna close the door real quick. I've also somehow stuck to using a tracker, even though I've said for many years I've been anti-tracker, but somehow this really simple and easy one every single week has worked for me, even though I might not necessarily be tracking all the time consistently, but I've up until now have found some value in keeping it, so that's always nice actually. Yes, this one's also nice, not so much extra stuff like PET or tape. I guess you can say a little. I'm a liar. But I did buy a rolling tape. This, I wasn't so good with tracking my food for like one day. That's okay. I also got this book Fluent Forever, which I've been reading actually on my Kobo. And it's a book that has been recommended by a lot of language YouTubers that I watch. So I thought it wouldn't hurt to read it as well, because I don't really read. I guess you could classify, is it classified as self-help? I don't really read self-help. I think the only self-help book I've read is She's on the Money. It's like an Australian financial podcast, and Victoria Devine, I think was her name. She wrote a book about financial freedom, and that was one of the few books that I felt was really helpful in terms of finding financial freedom. And by financial freedom, I mean like managing your finances in a way that is sustainable for you and your financial situation. And it's quite different. And not that I've read other finance books, but I get a lot of impressions that it is not so realistic. But I really liked that book. But anyway, I'm digressing. Really like the spread. I watched Sinners. That was a really good movie. I would watch it again. Sorry, there's a lot of things going on with my throat. And I really like, I don't remember the series of PET that this came from, but it is from our studio. I think this one's also from, I think all of my PET tapes are from our studio actually. They have a really good range. Now, this is the week that I went to London, so I went to London from the Friday night. But I also really like this. I think this is a tape, because this looks really good. This looks really nice actually. I don't remember where this is from. I feel like it might be from like a tape series or a sticker series that I got from Seria or Daiso, one of those. I think someone's doing, there's too many noises in this student building. Yes, so this is the week I went to London. I went to Eastbourne and Brighton on Saturday, and I stayed in London for the Sunday because I had a concert. But when I went to Eastbourne, it was so fun because that was the first day of their stamp caravan at All Things Analog, and they were so nice. I don't remember her name, but she was really lovely to speak to, and I felt really welcome in the store. And I also made some friends, which I think I've discussed all of this in a previous video. But yeah, anyway, so with the stamp caravan, I didn't really want to put it in my EDC, like in this planner, because I didn't want to make it busy, because first and foremost, this is still a planner and not for super decorative, like not to be super decorative, but I did want to commemorate the occasion in my planner, so I did put 3 stamps. But it was really fun. I love going to the UK just because of the familiarity of it, since it's quite, I mean, I say this also recognizing colonialism has irreparably damaged Australia, but as someone who grew up in Sydney and has moved out of home, moving to the Netherlands and then occasionally traveling to the UK, it feels very comfortable in that there's a lot of similarities, which I think I've also talked about in a previous video. But anyway, yes, miso paper pop-up on the Monday, so much fun. I also stamped a bit here because I had the most fun of my whole life at this event, and I feel so lucky to be part of a community that is so passionate about, you know, paper and pens and stickers. So I think this one was worth commemorating with a bunch of stamps in my planner. It's worth remembering, I think. I also got the TSL Kurashiki, the TSL washi tapes that were on sale there. So I bought those, and I really like the TSL handmade. Can you guys see that? Yeah. TSL handmade. This week was kind of terrible because not just 2 days after coming back from London, Dutch Pen Show was on. 3 days. Dutch Pen Show, I don't know. I always do this. I always put events on the wrong day. But DPS was on the Saturday. So in another video, I also shared that I did not have a big budget for DPS because I spent most of it at miso paper. Next year, I will buy a pen for sure, because I think I'll be in a more financially stable position then. Anyway, yeah, so this was really nice. I also was able to borrow the Coffee Monster Co. SD from Sophie. Thank you so much, Sophie, from Miso Paper. I think she's the one who organizes all the Travelers Company meetups in the UK, or at least I'm not sure where in the UK she's from, but my understanding is she organizes a lot of the meetups at stationary events. But I was able to borrow it, and it was really smooth. I would one day like to buy my own SD, but in time, when I'm not in financially dire straits right now, but I'd like to be more comfortable financially. Yeah, also tracking my food. I really didn't track because there was just so much stuff. I get really upset when I don't get really upset, that's an over-exaggeration, but I don't like it when I miss days when playing Love and Deep Space, since I pay for the daily pass. So if I miss a day, I've kind of wasted, I don't know, it's a negligible amount. It's probably like like 70 cents or something. I don't know what the math is, but you know, I pay for it, so I should play it every day. I also could not play it. I could just not play it because, you know, gachas are so bad for you in the long run in terms of if you spend money on them, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, this was also a fun week in terms of the decorations. I think you settle into a routine, at least for me, as a corporate 9-to-5 person. There's not much room for variation in the routine, so it kind of looks similar every week. But there's this one song, I know I have quite a few people who comment on my videos who are Filipino, so maybe they know this song, but it's trending. It's been trending. It's also come back, like I'm filming now in mid-August on Taemin's birthday. Happy birthday, Taemin. That's my bias. In Shiny, and my K-pop ultimate, I guess you could say, overall. Anyway, yes, this has come back onto my TikTok For You page again. So from June, when I discovered the song, it's made its rounds back onto my For You page. Yeah, I'm also in my tin fish era, so I've been trying a bunch of different tin fish. So, just what is in the local supermarket. I'm not yet ready to go out and procure really nice, like Portuguese tin fish, because I still also have to learn how I can eat it the way it deserves, because I like fish in general, and tin fish, there are a few there's a few TikTok channels that I follow that are like, this is how I ate my tin fish, and I would like to emulate that kind of way of eating. I know really I can eat tin fish any way I want, but I want to give tin fish the proper appreciation that I think it deserves. So when I'm ready, I'll buy more expensive ones. But this is just like the local, I don't think it's local, I think it's from Canada actually. I don't remember. But this one was really good. The sardines in soya oil with chili pepper was really nice. And I ate this with bread and hummus, I think. Like toasted bread. So that was really nice. I also like what I did here with the little clouds over the carol. This sticker is part of a sticker series that I bought in Korea in Insadong, I think is what the name was. It's the one where they have the poop cafe on the top, and it's the rotating the shopping center that is crooked but it spirals up. I think it's Insadong, I'm not sure. Yeah, but I did buy it from there. I'm so sorry about the car noise. Yeah, this one also super nice. Not so busy because there's not much going on, but not so much going on in my personal life, but I think this week politically there's quite a lot going on. But yes, you can see my stance on such issues on the page. But this week was also the Independence Day Festival and Independence Day of the Philippines. I have a lot of thoughts about Independence Day in the Philippines, but I will not go into it. But if you understand Tagalog, this pretty much sums it up. But it was really like the Independence Day Festival, which is held every single year in Halfweg here in the Netherlands, is so fun because I miss the Philippines every day. I know I'm a second generation immigrant, but I'm in one of the extremely lucky situations where I was always going home, or at least always going to the Philippines growing up, so I did not feel disconnected from my culture, you could say. So I feel very closely connected to my Filipinality, or my Filipino-ness. So I always really enjoy going to Filipino events, and just being around people who look like me and speak the same language as me, and I guess like on this, it's really nice being with your people, especially since I live in a country where I'm very much not living with my people. But yeah, sorry, that I did not want that to sound weird at all, but this is just something that I miss, especially in Sydney, where I lived, was full of Filipinos. So that might give a little bit of if you live in Sydney, that might give an indication of where I live. But yeah, anyway, I really like this spread. That's all I want. Yes, this one was super quiet, but it was still fun. I went to Ado. She performed at the Ziggo Dome, and that was really fun. I had not been to a J-pop concert in a while, mostly because it's rare for a J-pop artist to leave the country, leave Japan. You're more like you should just go to Japan if you want to see your favorite J-pop artist, to be honest, because I think they have to be super popular for them to come overseas to begin with. but she was really amazing. I don't actually listen to her that much. I just know like the One Piece soundtrack and a few other of her famous songs, but it was a really good concert. I really enjoyed it. I had my light stick as well, not the auto one, but like the generic Japanese light stick, and it was really nice doing like watergay and stuff, because I really missed that. There was a period of time where I was really into watergay. Those days are behind me, but on occasion I'd participate and do, you know, proper nice choreographed light stick work. But yeah, super quiet. Honestly, I don't know why. Like now that I'm looking at it, I kind of want to decorate it a little, but I'm also okay with keeping it blank. Like sometimes life just does that. You're just not looking in your planner sometimes, and that's okay. Yes, this one's also super nice. I've been trying to, so I have a lot of these tapes. I think their brand is like Soda or something, but I have a lot of these, so I should use them all. I also really like when payday comes around because I get to put it in nice bright letters. And this was also my birthday week, but I had work, so that was kind of a bummer. But I'm also, I'm also doing italki lessons, so even to this present day, I'm still doing them. I mean, it's only been 3 weeks-ish since this week, but I've restarted italki in Japanese because when I travel to the Philippines, one of my cousins, her husband and child are Japanese, and no one else in our immediate family besides her and myself, I guess, speak Japanese. So my mom kind of urged me to be like, oh, you should talk to them because they don't really speak Tagalog or English. They only speak Japanese. So I kind of wanted to brush up a little because I can definitely hold conversations in Japanese, but since I don't speak it here in the Netherlands, I'm really missing. Like I really have to refresh it. So I've been doing once a week italki, which is great because I do it for 1 hour, and I think that's already enough for me to get enough practice back. I just need to remember like the sentence structure, I guess, and the vocabulary comes back as I keep speaking. And the good thing about Japanese is sometimes you can just get away with, if you're not sure of the verb or the word, you could just say an English word and make it like katakana go, and then they might understand you actually. So, you know, that is also fine. But yeah, no, it's been really fun. I really love italki classes. I've been doing it maybe since 2021, like since COVID, or during the back end of COVID. I don't know. I wouldn't say COVID has left us yet, but you know, generally speaking, the back end of COVID years. And I think this was the last week. Yeah, this is the last. Yeah. In the weekly and memo, there was a heat wave on this week. It was super hot. For me, it was okay since I'm kind of used to it being really hot. But the buildings in the Netherlands are definitely not made for insulating cold. So it's mostly built for retaining heat, which means in the summer it's extra hot. So we always have to, well, we live in the first floor, which is not so bad, but it does get quite warm sometimes. But it's all right. I was able to work from home. I think I worked from home most of this week actually, which is great. And this was also the weekend. Oh, so it goes into July. This was also the week I went to Bad Bentheim in Germany with my work colleagues / I would call them my friends. Yeah, my friends that I met at work. So that's always fun. And then I kind of, just a little update on this little fill in scrolling time with languages. Did I spell language? I did not spell. I can't spell. Language. That is. Okay, that's terrible. I don't know how I missed that. That is so bad. I'm so sorry. Okay, I might wrap. I'm close to wrapping up anyway, but I think, yeah, they're doing work upstairs, which is, it's 8:30, guys. Come on, like that's, anyway, sorry. That's okay. It's 8:30 p.m. It's whatever. But yeah, so I've been trying to fill in whenever I want to scroll on something endlessly, like Reddit or TikTok. I'm pivoting and being like, no, I should do closed master exercises or watch a video in Japanese or Dutch. So that's been really good, actually. I still do scroll, but I'm also thinking I can do other things with my time as well. And I still want to do that. Like, I'm reading again, like reading not manhwa, like reading other, like books, novels. So that's exciting. And yeah, I think I've yapped quite a bit. One mistake that I have done, so this is a refilming, and I scrapped the original video because I realized that when I did my, I was gonna do a July setup with me video, but I'll show you. Basically what happened was, when I set up my first week, this week had already happened, and this was supposed to be, like, all of this was supposed to be for this week. So I filled in the wrong week, and it's upset me greatly that I did not realize this mistake. But I realized it, and I'm in the correct week now. So when I'm filming, the day I'm filming today is the 18th, Taemin's birthday, which I need. You know what? I'm just gonna write that in quickly. Taemin B-Day. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the first thing I've written here is backfill last week. Like, move all of this into here. When I realized it on this week, I was distraught. So I'll do this eventually, just not now. Whenever I feel the courage and the not stupidity to go on and fill in the pages again. But that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've gotten all the way to the end, thank you again. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks, bye.